All right, I'm very excited to see this man, probably for my last time here. The first time I met him, I was absolutely mesmerised by his talent. He really is something. He was a little-known singer at the time. He was singing a song I hadn't heard before. It was a very small charity event, and I remember thinking, good God, this guy's got what it takes. That song went on to be streamed over 2 billion times on Spotify, and now the singer himself sells out venues across the world. The song I'm talking about was, of course, Take Me to Church. The singer was Andrew Hozier Byrne, better known to you and I as the wonderful Hozier, ladies and gentlemen. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
It's so good to see you.
Thank you too.
Every time we briefly chatted before, so I remember the first time you came on, and it was all so new.
Yeah.
And you were kind of going, do I have to do this? You didn't say that, you're too polite for that. But you seem to be, getting into it more and more as it goes along, and now you're just enjoying it nearly.
Yeah, I think nearly.
Nearly.
I am.
Can you believe it's 10 years since
I
Take Me to
can't.
10 years
I can't.
since Take Me to Church. Can you believe that's extraordinary?
I know, terrifying thought.
How does it make you feel? I mean, happy, grateful, sad, depressed?
It makes me feel very much in my 30s, which is, no, I have to say I was proud of that song when I wrote it, and I still have a lot of love and pride for it, But
Yeah.
I do remember that very well. I think it was a charity broadcast.
It's a charity event. I think it was the ISBCC, and we were here, and you were playing as kind of an up-and-coming act or whatever, and I remember thinking, gosh, what is this phenomenon?
Yeah, that was definitely new to me.
Well, and the reaction, of course, it got better and better as it went along. The video for that song, just before we move into the other chat, it was important, wasn't it? I mean, it was making a point. It was about discrimination. It was about gay rights. It was like you kind of came out swinging.
Yeah, I suppose there's a certain freedom that maybe came with that song, in that it was the first song I ever released, and I had no audience whatsoever. So there was never any consideration of, oh geez, I wonder how people will respond to this. I never thought it would kind of be a hit. But at the time, yeah, particularly at the time there was these kind of anti-gay laws in Russia.
That's right.
And the video focused very much on that. And I think at the time I was thinking, look, culturally speaking, we live in a very borderless world, and with the internet, and that it's very possible that something like that, or like these anti-gay or anti-LGBTQ sentiments could cross borders, and it's funny reflecting on that 10 years.
Sad to think that 10 years later, actually, it's going backwards.
More applicable, yeah.
So the song remains, and the video remains utterly relevant. What about thinking about art and politics recently? I'm thinking of Spice Bag and murals, and do you think, are you politically conscious, aware, active? I mean, I know you are, but do you think it's important, or should you separate it? Where are you on all of that?
I don't think you can make art without there being a political dimension to it. I don't believe you can.
Do you think you can, or you should?
I don't believe you can.
Yeah.
I think a child sits down to draw a picture of a house that has political dimensions and political indications to it. I think the simplest story of somebody walking to a shop is rife with political sort of elements to it. But we tend to think of politics as something that wears a suit and tie and sits in a government building and waffles on, or engages in the sort of political football of party politics. But to me, anything that's political, it just concerns the story of who we are and our experience of living. And so a song about going out for a dance on a Saturday night and having a good time in a bar with your friends has loads of political dimensions. I think it's just whether you choose to engage with those dimensions and look upon them, sit over them, and scratch your head and scratch your chin. We don't need to do that all the time. But I don't think you can I think all things are political, or have a dimension that's political.
But do you write music with the view to being politically active and delivering message, or does it just happen and the rest follows? Yeah,
I think sometimes it just happens, and it's whatever I'm sort of feeling, or I'm thinking of, or I'm worried about or concerned about. And
what worries you now, 2023? What ails you?
What ails me?
Yeah.
My ankle is in...
For God's sake.
Sorry.
I'm just trying to find, what are you rhyming with? Ankle. Rankle probably.
Rankle.
But politically, is it the environment? Is it housing? Is it gay rights? Is it discrimination? Is there anything particular bothering you? Or Are you broadly?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of all of the above. I think
Have I just answered your question?
Yeah, I think we, yeah, and I do. I think it's always for me, I'm still figuring out. I think the limitations or the pitfalls of where it's not that I write specifically or expressly with the view of I must create something that's political. It's just generally what filters through my own idea, things that I'm interested in, things that might upset me or annoy me, or I think people deserve better in, or but like Eat Your Young, I think we're playing Eat Your Young.
Yeah.
I mean that's very much that's a very millennial voice writing. I think it comes from that sort of experience.
Tell us about the song, because Eat Your Young, I was playing it on the radio this morning and this song is called Eat Your Young, and I felt, I should explain this. And then maybe not, the song explains itself, but do you want to put it in context for us?
Yeah, paprika, salt and pepper, I'm just kidding.
Just at the following.
No, sorry. No, it's more, the song is written from a kind of tongue-in-cheek.
The chippers are going to be jammed later on.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's okay.
It's written
I'm
from...
glad you're getting so mature in your old age.
Yeah, sorry. It's kind of just written from the perspective of that sort of a voice that would... It's a tongue-in-cheek, sort of writing from an unreliable narrator's voice. Somebody of that idea to extract all things, take all things that you can, leave nothing behind, forget about the next generation, you know.
Putting food on the table, selling bombs and guns.
Yeah, so the line, it's quicker and easier to eat your young. So essentially, if that's how you're putting your food on the table, just skip the middleman. You know, you know, because your kids are going to end up destroyed anyway in that environment. So skinning the children for a war drum, you know. So it's more that to me is kind of just is looking at the world that I suppose Generation Z, whatever, that millennials have to inherit.
Yes.
If that cycle continues, it's just looking at the end point. It's just complete destruction. You know what I mean?
How are you feeling about the new music? And again, briefly chatting earlier, I got the sense you are hungry to get out again. That you've really got it in you. That you're match fit, oven ready, whatever.
Yeah. No, I feel ready for it. I feel capable. I think I've had a lot of time to sit and to not tour, you know, and to I'm happy with this work. I'm happy with the music. I'm excited to release it. I'm just eager to go again in that respect. I think I had a lot of time to reflect upon what it is I do and to gain an appreciation for it, being away from it for so long.
Yes.
And I also get the gift of being able to tour with such amazing musicians. There they are, actually.
Yeah, they all are. They're waiting. They're saying, stop talking, we're here for it. Get down to business. Well, we're here for them. And you're going to love this, by the way. These guys are terrific. You're right. And also, I know you've got a bit of Nashville here tonight. And you went to Nashville. And we the last time I spoke to Nashville was it was Dolly Parton. We talked about how the pavements sing. You know, it's just a place. It's like it's a mecca, really.
It is, yeah. I think in a lot of
songwriters and music.
Yeah,
how was it for you?
It was wonderful. I mean, the people are so warm and so welcoming, and the standard of musicianship is incredibly high. And but these guys are a testament to that. And but also just the people are incredibly down to earth, and even there's so much talent, there's a staggering amount of talent, and also the craft, the actual respect for the songwriting craft. Yeah. As an art form, I think is really rich there and really is upheld there. But yeah, I had a really good time. We rehearsed there. Kind of got to meet this band there. A lot of the new players. We've joined by a few people who were on the last tour.
Good.
Also, but,
nice mix of. Did you get to Graceland? Did you pay respects to the King?
I didn't on this tour. I have been there before.
You have been there before?
It's an amazing experience. Yeah. Once in. Yeah, it's a
fascinating place.
It's like this little museum, this little it feels like anyone could be sitting in there.
For sure. Let me talk to you about something I was reading last week, which was saying that Irish trad music has become born again among. You talked about Gen Z and certainly millennials, and I say that respectfully. Some people might say it derogatorily, but not at all. That they're listening in a way that they didn't before. I mean, I've been at a few different parties or gigs or weddings, whatever, and the younger people are singing Grace. They're singing all these beautiful songs. You sang the Parting Glass here for us once upon a time, and they're all. You talk about the craft in Nashville. We have it here, don't we? I mean,
we do.
Abundance.
Yeah, we do, and it's something I'm late to. I didn't really grow up in a trad family, as it were. But I just during the pandemic, I was always. I remember hearing a low whistle for the first time, and I don't know. I remember, and it just. there's very few instruments that moved me like it. I remember hearing, for the first time, I don't know if I was in my dad's car as a child, hearing the Lark, hearing Moving Hearts play in that Live in Vicar Street album, and hearing the Lark for the first time. Beautiful. So I picked up the low whistle recently, and it's something that I do value and treasure, and seeing so many people turn to it and see the value in engaging in it and enjoying it also. It's not about standing away from it and scratching our chins over it. It's about playing it and
stuck
sharing.
in.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't realise in all the years that we've been bumping into each other here that we both admire one of the great iconic figures of entertainment, show business. Somebody I've channeled a lot during some of the performance I do here during a certain time of the year, which is Kermit the Frog. And I love Kermit. I think he's a great hero to have. Tell me about your amphibian love.
He's such an optimistic soul.
Exactly.
Isn't he? He's such a beautiful picture of a kind, optimistic, sees the goodness in people.
Well, did you get to have the privilege of being near Kermit? Are we having this conversation? Tell me what happened.
I did, and I didn't realise that you were such a fan. But
I've got T-shirts and Kermits and everything at home. It's very strange. I feel a whole new career coming on.
That's beautiful. That's gorgeous.
No, please tell me about you.
I was in Newport Folk Festival, which is a beautiful. Anybody who ever has a chance to go to Newport Folk Festival, please do. It is an amazing. It's a beautiful. It's a beautiful festival. I mean, it's been running for nearly, I think, over 100 years now. We're just coming up nearly to 100 years.
For people and frogs, obviously.
Yeah, for people and frogs.
So you were there?
I was there, and there's a band called My Morning Jacket, and Jim, the lead singer from My Morning Jacket, came out and sang a song, and he was a surprise guest. Kermit the Frog was a surprise guest in this open-air festival. And also, you kind of consider seeing Kermit in a closed, safe studio environment where you kind of... But he took the stage on the main stage outside. And I remember I was rehearsing, I was running harmonies with wonderful artist, Rhiannon Giddens, I believe, in my dressing room, and wonderful artist Alison Russell, and Mavis Staples. And then somebody just knocks on the door and goes, "Do you know Kermit the Frog is on stage?" And it's like, yeah, very funny. And we go out and he's singing Rainbow Connection.
No.
Yeah, it was beautiful, actually. Yeah,
how was it for you?
It was like...
Stop laughing, this is serious.
This is serious.
No, what happened?
It was like... I don't know, it was kind of like seeing a mythical figure in real life.
Like a unicorn?
Yeah, exactly, yeah, I suppose so.
And was it moving?
I actually was. I'm not ashamed to say it, although despite the laughter, I actually was a little bit moved by it. I was. Also, the lyrics of Rainbow Connection are gorgeous. Like, it is a stunning song. Yeah, it's a stunning song.
This last few minutes has been a fever dream. A very beautiful fever dream. I think you should play for us. You're going to do 2 world exclusives for us tonight, so we're really honoured to have you here tonight with your great band. You're ready to head over and do some music play?
Yes, absolutely, yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so Hozier...